Hey everyone, I'm Pion and welcome back to Take on Mars. It has been almost 3 years since I played this for the last time, but it will now finally leave early access on the 9th of February, and I want to play it some more, so here we are. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a Mars rover simulator. So without further ado, let's start a new space program, which is the main career mode in the game, and take a look, shall we? So there's a new mode or a new chapter to the career mode in the game, the manned mission chapter 2, and I'm gonna take a look at that at some point, but right now I want to stick to the robotics because that's what I remember being cool and fun about the game. So let's do that, shall we? So I played a little bit around with this new build, so I'm gonna skip the tutorial videos and stuff like that, but didn't play much. So it's not a blind playthrough because I played the tutorial basically, or watched the tutorial videos and stuff, and played around with the game a little bit for a few minutes today. And also I played a lot of the game 3 years ago, but I'm not sure how much I remember and how much changed. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed, not completely blind playthrough, but it's not. What is the opposite of a blind playthrough? A seeing playthrough? I don't know. Anyway. This is not the main game. This is like an intro sequence, which is basically a flashback to a really, really old space mission or Mars mission decades ago. And we have this cute robot over here. Does this qualify as a Mars rover already? I don't know. Does a rover has to have wheels? I'm not sure. It looks like a frog anyway, like a mechanical frog kind of, which is kind of cute. So to complete this intro, we have to walk it for a few seconds, and then we have to do some analyzing. We do that by switching to the analyze view and, well, analyzing the soil, and there we go. That completes the intro. And now we will go to mission control, and I'm gonna skip some tutorial videos because, as I said, I watched those already, so I'm just gonna explain to you what this is all about. So first we have to choose which game mode we want to play. There's either game time or real time. Real time is the hardcore mode. Basically it means that the game will progress while you're not on your PC, and it will only progress in real time. So if you go away from your PC for 10 hours and you come back, the game will have progressed 10 hours, which is important for research and the day and night cycle on Mars. This is really cool, but it's very inconvenient for video recording. So we're gonna go with game time, which means the game will only progress as long as it is open, and I can skip time if I want, which is very, very important for recording because research takes a lot of time in this game, and it would be annoying to be stuck on that and not being able to record another video just because of that. So there we go. We go for game time. Welcome to mission control. The most important thing here are the tabs over here and the screen over there and the lab, I guess. Go to map and go to lab. So this is the map, the lab is the door over there. We can click on the door as well if we want. Anyway, let's go over these tabs first. So this is the tech research. We're going to look at that in a moment. Encyclopedia is just a bunch of information. We have to unlock those first though. I think it doesn't have much information yet. And the most important one is the objectives tab, which gives you the objectives of the game. And it starts by mapping the surface of Mars, or Deimos, which is Mars's moon, and then goes more into some scientific objectives like analyzing the atmosphere or analyzing the soil and stuff like that, and get more advanced tasks later on. But you have to research instruments for it first, so we're gonna start with basic tasks. So let's go to the map and show you what this is all about if you don't know already. Skip another tutorial video. So this is Mars, and as you can see, there are multiple locations we can stuff to, and every location basically is a map, as you can see. So the developers did not, or the game doesn't allow you to roam around on the whole Mars. That would be pretty ridiculous. Instead, the developers decided to split the game in multiple locations, which are all represented by one map, basically. So you have multiple maps you can play on. There's not only Mars, though. There's also Deimos. And there's also Earth, which has basically the tutorial island here and stuff like that. And there's also the moon. I guess you can send something to the moon, but there are no missions there. That's unfortunate. And then there's an asteroid belt, which is close to Mars. You can you see Mars? That's the sun, I assume. Maybe it's not close to Mars. I assumed it's close to Mars, but I can't see the Mars, so maybe it's not. I don't know. It's some asteroid belt anyway. What is that? Is this a space station? Looks like it. Interesting. Anyway, let's go back to Mars, shall we? Okay, so let's choose a location. I think I go Victoria Crater because that's what I remember. you can see we have some missions here. Those are all very, very simple missions. So this is a mission which consists only of one task. If you go mission details, it has one task, which is an explore task, which is the most basic task. It just means go there. So we have to send something in that area and we will fulfill this task. And since this is the only task, this will also fulfill the mission. So completing the task will give us $10,000, which is not much. But since this completes the mission as well, we get $150K as well for completing the mission, which is quite a bit. So you can see here a probe, which we require to fulfill the task, will cost us $52K. This probe is like, this is the button to create a new probe, and this one is like basically a default layout probe with the camera and a battery equipped. So we're going to use that one because there's not much choice anyway right now. So we're going to send this basic probe to this location, which will cost us $52K, and this will hopefully allow us to complete this mission, which will give us $160K in return, which is obviously a good idea from a financial standpoint. So let's launch vehicle and go to Mars. So we can choose the launch or the destination. We should put it somewhere in this area. The center's probably fine. It will not necessarily land exactly there, so it's probably a good idea to actually put it in the center. So if it if it goes off a little bit, it's not too bad. So this is the camera equipped on the probe. As you can see, it's a pretty terrible camera. You can equip better ones later on. Luckily, we can cheat and go to the third-person camera. Unluckily, we have night, so I have to activate the night vision mode, which makes everything green. But I mean, that's a good flashback to my first Take on Mars video, I guess. Actually not a good flashback, because in that video it was night and I didn't know how to activate the night vision mode. So that was a fun experience. Anyway, this looks pretty cool in night vision mode. I really enjoy the green flames. There we go. We actually completed the task already. It popped up a few seconds ago. Explore complete. But I'm gonna watch the landing anyway. It actually shows a lot of missions here, but most of them didn't show up in the map yet because we don't have the tools researched yet to actually. Wow, the camera is going crazy. We don't have the tools researched yet to actually complete those missions, so they don't show up. So this probe is completely useless now. We used it to explore the area. We did that now, so we can actually abandon it. There we go. Well, we don't yet. We disconnect from. We can reconnect to it. We could abandon it though, but it's not really necessary right now. Anyway, I'm derailing my point. We got a bunch of money now. As you can see, we made plus. We started with 3 million. Now we have 3.108 million, which is more than we had before. And now we're gonna go to the research tab and research some stuff. So you can see we have different research topics here which we can research, and we have a list of tools or thingies on the left. And basically, if we select one like the small rover, it highlights the topics we have to research in order to get this tool or thingy, like a small rover or some instruments down here and stuff like that. I would like to get to the rover because the rover allows me to drive around, complete multiple missions with one vehicle, which is obviously a good idea from a financial standpoint, but also because it's cool to have to move on Mars and not just send something stationary there. However, we cannot afford that yet, so I could either go on and send more probes, or we do a little bit more advanced thingy and actually research the lander, because that allows us to put some instruments on the lander, which will allow us to get more missions done. So we're going to research some stuff for the small lander. The lander chassis is required, which takes 5 hours, and yes, that's real-time hours. Luckily, I chose game mode in the beginning, so I can skip time. If I would have chosen real-time mode, that would require me, or researching this would require me to actually wait 5 hours, which, well, would be very inconvenient. So we research a bunch of stuff: heat resistance, what's that? Atmospheric entry aerodynamics, and stuff like that. And that will allow us to build a small lander. But on top of building the small lander, I also want to put some thingies on the small lander, like can we get the robotic arm already, or is that too expensive? 175k, 125k, another 100k, so that's like 400k. 400k for the robotic arm. We can afford that. It's probably good because I think that allows us to get soil as well, so soil analysis probe. How expensive is that? 35k, 25k, really cheap. Really cheap. Okay, so I definitely want that then. But first we're gonna start with the EAS. That's the most important instrument. The God damn it, my English tonight. Environmental analyzer station. There we go. So we start with that. Researching the low power socket system. We need that for the other things as well. Anyway, chromatographic sensor firmware, for gas chromatography, and gas particle detection system. So we need all of those thingies. And I want to get the soil analysis probe because that's a really important instrument as well. So let's get the soil physical evaluation software, evaluation software, soil pH evaluation, and nuclear soil density gauge. And we still have 2 million left. Wow, that's pretty cheap. All of that was pretty cheap in comparison to researching the small rover, which costs like 4 million or something in total. So we potentially could get more thingies. The alpha particle X-ray spectrometer. I think that's useful as well. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, that's a tier 2 research. We could wait for that to finish and then get that, but don't want to do that right now. Especially they usually get expensive. Well, those are affordable. What's with the high power illumination system? Well, no, don't really need that. Okay, those are all more advanced. Passive instrument, maybe. Can we get an environmental monitoring station? No, it's tier 2 as well. That's unfortunate. Don't really need a low gain, I think, because I'm not gonna drive around. I think the low gain, if I remember correctly, allows you to leave, like, actually drive around, like get a decent distance on the to your landing pad. If you don't get an antenna, you have to stick there. Like, that's important for rovers, obviously, not for landers, so we ignore that for a moment. We could get some better cameras, shall we? Yeah, that's, I think, a good idea. Not really necessary, but they're pretty cheap, and we're gonna get them at some point anyway. Okay, cameras. And those things are more advanced again. We could get a better battery. Not really necessary for a lander though, so let's not do that for the moment. I think we're good. I think we are good. Let's scroll back up. Is there something else? No, I think we're good. What was the longest research? I think 5 hours. Okay, let's just skip time. Oh, not. God damn it. That was the wrong button. Now we just skipped 1 hour. Which is not helping much. Every time you skip time, you have to watch this animation, which is not skippable, unfortunately. And that's why I'm a little in pain that I misclicked, because now we have to watch it again. However, that means we're more precise, because there's no 5 hour option, but there's a 1 hour and a 4 hour option, so we can do exactly 5 hours now. Doesn't really matter, since the in-game time is not that important, except for the time and night cycle, I guess. If you would try, you could have the personal goal to do like an in-game time speed run, then this would be important, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, so all the research is done, I hope. Let's take a look. Looks like it. Everything is green. Good. So let's go to the lab, shall we? And build our lander. So now it gives another tutorial video, which I'm gonna skip. Construction, create new vehicle. There we go. We could choose to build a probe, but the probe is very boring. We just researched the lander. So let's go for a lander, shall we? That's how it looks like. That's a small lander chassis. And we're gonna select that, and now we can put some things on it. So we put the EIS station on it because that's important. We also gonna put some cameras on it. That's the better camera. No, that's the better camera, actually. There we go. So let's put some cameras in front there. We could save some money by only going with one basic camera, but it's not really that important. Yeah, we could put more batteries in there, but we don't really need them. Like, we were gonna take some pictures and analyze the atmosphere, and we should be good. Oh, we don't have an antenna. That might be a problem. We can't. The antenna is required, so we cannot launch the thing without an antenna. I don't think we have one researched. So I guess I need the low gain anyway, even for a lander. I thought that was only important for the rover. I guess I was wrong. Well, that's annoying. Can we save it already? No, because it's not fulfilling the requirements. I guess we go back to research then. I'm very sorry. Let's go for the low gain antenna. We should be able to afford that. Got that one already. We'll need this one. Okay, that takes another 4 hours, however. Let's just skip 8 hours. And we should be good to build our lander. The animation is so silly. I don't know, it just clashes with the atmosphere of the game, I think, a little bit. But it doesn't really bother me. But it surprises me every time I see it a little bit. So let's put the AIS on there. Let's put the low gain on there as well. So we can only fit one instrument there anyway, except if we get a mast. If we get a mast, we can put the mast here, which allows us to get more things on there. But I think mainly cameras, actually. Well, we're good with cameras up front here. Cameras on the mast is useful to get better angles and stuff. Oh yeah, and we need the... Okay, without a robotic arm, the soil analysis probe is not going to help us much. So a robotic arm is probably the next thing we want to go for. We only put one battery in and we should be good. So save as... let's call it the small EAS lander. And now we go back, exit construction, back, more back to the map, and we choose Victoria Crater again, if I find it. There we go. And now you can see some new missions have popped up here. So we're gonna choose that one, take a look at the mission details, and it shows us there's an analyze task as well and a photo task. In total, this gives a lot of money. So the last edited vehicle is actually not the same one as this one. I don't know, this is weird. Like, this is definitely the one I built, the small lander. Yeah, no, that's actually not. That's the default one. Oh, that's not the one I built. This is actually worse than mine. I guess it has one less camera or something. So I'm going to go with the one I designed, obviously. So the small EAS lander. Vehicle details. That's the preset we choose. It costs 16,000. And that's what's on it. And we're going to launch, I guess. So let's put it there. Maybe we can do both missions. I'm not sure. Probably not. Maybe. So, okay. So this is the camera on the thingy again, which is not useful right now anyway. So we go to third person. And as you can see, the lander is in this small thingy, which has a parachute. So that's how we're landing on Mars. There we go. Actually, it leaves that one as well now. And it's going into landing mode. I could control this manually, but that would probably mean crashing it. So I'm just going to keep it in the automatic mode. And hope that the AI is good enough to land the thing without problems. Now we can switch to the first person camera mode again. But we cannot control the station yet. Like, you can't control the platform and rotate it, which allows you to change the angle of the camera. So let's hope the computer doesn't fail at this. That would suck. I remember that back then it sometimes failed pretty hard at this, so I hope they improved that, because that was really frustrating. Like building a really expensive lander or a rover and have the computer just crash it. It looks good. Yeah, okay. Touchdown. There we go. And we got the explore complete mission already, or the task, I guess. So if we take a look up here in the mission tab, we can... This is the selected mission, and we can go to the tasks. And there are some tasks here. So we have to analyze something, analyze the atmosphere with the EAS. So we choose the EAS up here, and we switch to the instrument mode. And well, we're gonna start with that. So this is the area we have to use the instrument in, this orange UI thingy. I hoped, like, this looks exactly like as 3 years ago. I hope back then that this is just a placeholder and they will improve on the visuals on this, because it looks terrible. It has some weird graphical glitches if you go in and out, or not necessarily glitches, but it looks weird. You can still go into the ground. Seems like a lot of, like, this looks still, the game is still very rough, I have to say. Like, for being 3 years or more than 3 years in early access, this still looks very rough. Anyway, so we're about to complete this task. I could multitask and do the photography thingies as well already, but I want to talk about thingies, so I didn't. So we complete this task. So let's see if we can fulfill the photograph task as well. So we have to take some pictures. So we switch to first person mode, and we can actually switch to the camera tab up here, which gives us all the cameras. And you can see those green crosses basically, and you have to take pictures with those crosses in them, and I think every picture has to have at least 3 crosses in them to be a viable picture. Those are basically landmarks. So we're gonna just take some pictures, and if you take pictures of all the crosses, then you're good. And the thing is, you have to be green, obviously, to count. That's how it works. So we have to take some pictures. You have to make sure you use the correct camera, because if like right now we're on the teleobjective, but we could go to the wide one, and that allows us to take a bigger picture. And they're actually not too far away, so we can actually do that. Well, let's do that then. That's more efficient. There we go. This is still a basic camera. As you can see, it doesn't have color. You will have color cameras later on in the game. Well, you have to research them first. Okay, so I think we complete the mission. That's good. Cool. Can we complete the other mission as well? I fear not, but we might be able to complete some tasks. Oh, actually, we got the other mission as well, I guess. I guess the other mission was just an explore mission. So we have this mission over here, but I don't think we can complete that. That's the vehicle mission details. We have to take a lot of pictures and do EAS, I guess, in that area. We can try, like, we can assign the vehicle. But actually, we can fly there. The lander can fly. So yeah, let's try that. Okay, cool. So we assigned this mission now, and I think I can somehow fly there now. I could do it manually, but I probably don't want to do that. Okay, first let's switch to the regular view mode. There we go. Okay, now I think we want to filter the missions. That's over here, filter by mission. So this should show only the tasks for the mission we just have selected. Okay, so that's over there. So that's where we have to go. And now we switch to flight mode by pressing space and choosing flight. That would be the manual one, flight mode. We actually want to do flight to waypoint. So click that, and there we go. It goes flying. Cool. Okay, let's get over there, shall we? And while we do so, we take a look at beautiful Mars. You can't see the fuel levels. They're actually behind the camera. It's a little bit unfortunate, but it's still the best place for the camera, I feel. They're not that interesting anyway. Should be more than enough to get to this point. So, not all that interesting. Now we're going to touch down here in a moment or two. And that will allow us to get the other mission done as well, which makes this lander super efficient, money-wise. Way more efficient than the probe, anyway. So we get here. The automatic landing system is trying to land safely. Looks good. There we go. Pretty reliable so far. So that's good. Okay, we got the explore task already. That's good. So let's do the analyzing. And while the thingy is analyzing, we're gonna take some pictures. So let's switch to the first person camera. And are we on the teleobjective again? Let's go to the wide one. And take some good pictures. There we go. Photo complete. And there's another one over here. And another one here. Another picture here. And I think that's it. Yeah, that seems to be it. Okay, good. Let's see. Analyzing, good. So it's almost done. There we go. And that should be the mission complete. There we go. Cool. Good. So that was pretty efficient. We could fly to the other locations as well, just to get the explore tasks done. I guess I'm gonna do that. Yeah, let's do that. So we assign the vehicle here. There we go. And then we connect to the vehicle again. Oh, night vision. No, that's not what I wanted. That I connected to the probe somehow. That's not what I wanted. I guess I assigned the wrong vehicle. Unassign. Yes. I want to assign it to this one. Mission details. There we go. Live assign vehicle. We could just abandon the probe, I guess. That would prevent those mistakes. So now we're on the lander again, and now I can tell it to fly there again. Cool. Okay. So it will be even more efficient. Very good. But I'm probably not going to do that on camera. So I'm just going to let it fly there, and we'll have all those missions completed for the next episode. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where this series will be going. But I definitely want to play a little bit more of this game. So you can expect a few more videos. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks all for watching anyway. I'm Pion. The game is called Take on Mars. It will leave early access on the 9th of February. Link is in the description below. Have fun and see you next time.